This is the Scattered Moments. I'm writing this one tonight. This is the follow-up to my last Scattered Moments. I left some things hanging that I didn't go back to and complete. I know that's what you always end up doing. That's what they would tell me when you shoot scattered loads and jump from one thought to another, never come back to statements and complete the very subject you were writing about. Well, here I am, and it's fun to me. Today I'm going back to Ole Miss, and my 3 summers there, actually, Shirley, Lisa, Laura, and Lynn were with me. Now, picking up with where I said that I had a dream come true. This dream was about one of the 3 C's I made that summer in graduate school. This course was a geology course and not a particular difficult course, and I thought I would make let me turn the page here. I thought that I would make a B in it, or maybe even a low A. I dreamed one night while I was taking this course that I was looking at the posting of grades for my name. I wasn't really expecting any grade out of the A minus or B plus range. I wasn't expecting. But when I looked at my name, there was a C beside it. Boy, that was a joke. I went and talked with the professor, the teacher, and he said that was what he assessed my grade as. So that was it. Well, that was the dream. I related what was in that dream. That's exactly the way I dreamed it. And then I come to find out that's exactly the way it was. When I went to look at my grade the next day, whatever it was, I went up there, and that's what it was. And you can imagine some depressing thoughts I had about that C grade. Now, I know to the casual observer it would appear to him like a C. What's so bad about that? You're average, and you made an average grade. This was graduate school, though. You can't make many C's and receive an MS, Master of Science, or any graduate courses. And for every C a person gets, he has to have an A for it, and to keep a B average. As most every person and our student knows, A grades are not very easy to make, especially in math and science, which has zoology and botany. And these two have parts in them that's got some permutation and combination, which is probability to break down, like in gene crossings. Like, what is the possibility of crossing 2 crickets and getting one with blue eyes? When theirs both had brown. There's the phone, but I don't want to interrupt you here in the middle of my recording because I've got a few minutes that I can try to get this recorded. Anyway, the blue eyes and the brown eyes crickets, because they are zoology critters, or zoology animals. But really, I got the cricket eye color from Red Cook, who owned Eugene and Nellie's junk house before they bought it from him. It was a bait stand when Red owned it. One day I bought some crickets from him, and he asked me if I wanted brown eyes or blue-eyed crickets. He fell out guffawing about that. Probably was looking at my face when he said blue-eyed crickets. Anyway, back to the serious part of my college, working on my master's degree. Of course, but now I'm not done talking about my grades. I mentioned earlier that divine assistance was involved in this. I mean, the sum total of my grades for the 3 summers, these were some of the most stressful moments in my life. We were on the quarter system, that is 2 fall quarters and 2 summer quarters. My first summer, my grades were a B and a C and 2 B's. So I made up for that one C. One of the C's is what I talked about, but then I had a B with it. I still wasn't up to a B average. And then the next part of it, I had 2 B's. So I had, for that summer, I had a B and a C and then 2 B's. And I said, well, maybe next summer I need to get an A to make up for that C. I went home after that first summer needing an A to balance out the C. I thought about it all year to come along, and I got to get an A in something next summer to get back to a B average. Well, here comes the next summer, and after to cut this to the chase here, my grades I got were a B and a C and 2 B's, exactly. I said, I can't believe that. Now I had 2 C's involved in here to make up. Just like last year, still behind. I was thinking, I got to get an A in one of the courses next quarter. Next quarter, I looked up there, and you can imagine how stressed out I was at going to look at it. And after 2 summers, I was still needing an A, at least in something the next third summer. Well, the question might be asked, what if you don't get one next summer? Well, I won't graduate. The next question could be, what if you make another C, 2 C's, or worse grade, D or an F? Heaven forbid. Sure didn't want to even consider that possibility. There were several people that made less than a B average. That was in the group with us that went over there, the teachers that were taking that course and working, getting paid for it and working on the masters. But I don't know who they were, those people. A reliable source told me that an assistant principal made a D in a course. Now, I don't know what they did about that. I guess they just have to go take it over, but I don't imagine the National Science Foundation would pay for them to do it. Anyway, I didn't even want to think about that. There's enough to think about myself in it. Anyway, I don't know what they did about that. They would be a double trouble dose, especially when he or she got back home and had to face his or her supervisor and her high school students. I can just imagine what those students would say among themselves. They'd probably say, Ms. So-and-so or Mr., whatever the name was, their teachers, that she or he got on to us for our grades, and now they're doing the same thing. Ha, 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 ha. So I can just imagine that humiliation that might have happened. You know, some of them probably would do it. Well, let me get to my final summer and my final report card and my question mark diploma. The third final summer, at the end of the first quarter, I went and looked on the, you remember now, I had a B and a C and 2 B's the first summer. The second one, I had the same identical thing. I couldn't believe it. And then the next summer, I looked up there, and I had an A and a C and 2 A's. Praise the Lord, I was so thrilled over that. Now imagine, if you can, how would you feel in this situation with 1 quarter to go, needing to pick up my grades to graduate? Here's the situation on a grade posting first summer. This is the first summer I'm redoing it, re-seeing this. And I had a B and a C and 2 B's. Second summer, I had the identical grade, B and a C and 2 B's. Except the third summer, I had a C and I had 2 C's now. So that means I got to have 2 A's to make those up. So that divine intervention I was talking about. That my third summer, I had an A and a B and 2 A's, which put me over. And when I had a celebration, what a relief. Was I filled with joy. Also, the professor had me bring my guitar and entertain. I was certainly in the mood for doing that. Just throw in something I just thought of. We were coming back in that 57 Ford, four-door hardtop car loaded down, and so one of the towns in there, we were pulled up to, we're driving and pulled up to red light and looked up and some lights coming to me, and I knew they couldn't stop. And we all gritted our teeth, and then wham, they hit us right there. And miraculously, I put it out of gear and walked around, and the car was still there, the lights on. That was night. And I looked down there, and it miraculously, all it did was just make a not too obvious dent in it. So that was a blessing. Well, I have got this recorded, hopefully, and I've gone over 11 minutes, so I don't know if that's going to send, but I'll try to work on the next one, and that was about sums up that particular part of this, scattered moments.